Carlos, what can you say about the job that your bullpen did tonight?
Hell of a job, solid. All of those guys, started with Alex Young, then Brasso. I mean, all of them. The biggest thing that they kept making pitches. We turned 3 double plays. I think it was when we needed. Like I said, because they continued to execute, they didn't panic, and I thought overall we did a lot of good things. We make some plays defensively behind those guys. I thought in the 8th inning, a sneaky good play, winning baseball, the baiter cutting that ball in the gap that's not going to show up on the box score. And the next guy hits a single. That should have been, that could have been the tying run right there. Now we got first and third. Mayton continued to make pitches and then gets out of it. So, huge team win there.
When you were game planning out tonight, how much were you thinking, okay, given the way that the starters have given us length, we've got the off day tomorrow, Manai coming back on Friday, I have an opportunity tonight to be ultra aggressive with the bullpen?
Yeah, I had an idea going in. I was going to let the game play out and make adjustment accordingly. But I knew coming in that I was going to be very, very aggressive with what I had available, especially the 2 lefties, all the lefties that they had in that lineup. Off day tomorrow, and we saw it today. I thought McGill was okay stuff wise. Got ahead 0-2. And then just too much in the middle of the plate. And then even when there was traffic, I thought that when he was ahead, instead of going for the strikeout, he got beat with the breaking ball instead of going to the slider. But, hey, he gave us a chance, kept it there, limited damage, and like I said, bullpen was outstanding.
Tony.
What does 7 in a row in the middle of a playoff race feel like?
Good. Feels good, but, there's a lot of games left. There's a lot of good teams in the race, but the mindset continues to be the same. One day at a time, one series at a time. Off day tomorrow, and then we got to get ready for the Reds series. It feels good, but again, we got to come every day. We got to prepare. I like how the guys are going about their business. There's a sense of urgency. There's some big plays. There's, huge at-bats. Those at-bats against Jansen were really, really good. Started off with Nemo. So, like I said, we're doing a lot of good things, and we need to continue to do that in order to get to where we need to get.
Are these games starting to feel a little different to you now?
I mean, I think they've been feeling like that since June. I think as far as like the way we attack every day, the way we approach every day, I think we've been doing it for a long time. So,
Tim. Healy.
All of the relievers you used except Diaz tonight were either midseason acquisitions or minor acquisitions, or both of those things. How would you describe the organization-wide effort that has led to rebuilding this bullpen basically on the fly this season?
I mean, it happens every year. Davey Stearns and his group, they never stop. And we knew coming into the year that to get through 162 plus, you're going to need a lot of people. And we've seen that. And that was the message in spring training. Guys that felt like at the time didn't have a chance, the message always was be ready because your name will be called, we'll be calling you need it. And then, the guys that have been here the whole year, welcoming those guys and making them feel like they are part of this. And that's what we're showing right now. So credit to the whole group. And then, Hef and the pitching strategy group, helping these guys and making sure that they understand the role and the situations and how we're going to deploy a lot of them. Amazing.
And on McGill with Blackburn due back, do you know what's next for McGill?
No. We got to discuss.
Tim Britton.
You mentioned the sense of urgency. What does a properly calibrated sense of urgency look like to a manager?
It's hard to describe because, I think the sense of urgency starts as soon as you walk through those doors. Once you get to the ballpark, how you prepare, how you go about your business, how are you, the attention to details and making sure that the guys are pushing each other. And then once the game starts, it's the same way, playing every pitch. I know it's easy for me to say it, but you talk about the manager, but I got to have good players. You know, at the end of the day, they're the ones that got to go out there and execute. So I got to give them the credit. I got to give the coaches credit because they're the one driving it. So,
John.
Carlos, the way Houck was settling in, was that part of the equation too? Or was
Who's this?
Houck, the Red Sox, after he gave up, he started pitching really well.
yeah, he's pretty tough.
I mean, had you already made your mind up, or was that kind of part of it? I'm not going to let McGill get in trouble here. And
Yeah, no, it was more like once we got 4, I was going to, try to stop it as quick as possible because I knew they're off tomorrow, and I knew Alex was going to be aggressive with his guys too. So, yeah, we got 4 there, big hit by Winker, but I seen Houck pitch, and he's pretty tough. So it was, just try to stop it here and give us a chance to win, somehow.
Andy.
That Lindor play, he makes it look easy where he kind of came across almost over to first base and that Duran.
Yeah.
I believe. How difficult is that play for a shortstop? He doesn't make it look that difficult.
Yeah, pretty difficult, especially I think it was Duran, plus runner, down the line. And he got him by, quite a bit there. But this is something that he's worked on every day. Not only these guys playing every day, but he's taking ground balls. He's working on, every single play that could potentially happen on the game. Whether it's a backhand, whether it's a forehand, whether it's a slow roller, double play turn. And we saw it today in a big spot with a plus runner. So,
Steve.
Carlos, we saw Diaz hit 101 today in that 9th inning. Has it felt like since those 2 rough outings that something has clicked and locked into place here for him?
I think he's been locked in. I think he's been, like I said, with his go time mentality. And yeah, he got hurt by a couple of sliders, in that road trip. But after that, he continues to stay on the attack. And we saw it today. 4 straight balls with the fastball and went right to the slider. Got strike 1, and then he kind of find that slot. And watching him hit 101, aggressive, is a good sign.
Abby.
Given that you guys finally have 2 lefties in the bullpen, how nice is that? How different do you operate? What does that do for you?
Yeah, it's especially on a day like today when you're facing a team that's got 7 lefties in a lineup. It allows you to mix and match and be a little bit more aggressive if you need to. Off day tomorrow, there's a lot that goes into it, but it helps the fact that you got 2 of them that you could shoot one in the middle innings, and then you could shoot one towards the 7th or 8th. So,
Jerry.
You said it's felt intense since June on this run you guys are on, but does a night like tonight, does it feel different tonight that September and the meaning of these games is extra magnified because of the playoff race?
I think it feels different because we did a lot of good things, a lot of really good baseball plays, a lot of good at bats, defensive plays. That's what for me today was a really good team win, and it feels good when you do all your homework, you prepare, and then you got to go out there and execute. And we did that today. That's the biggest thing for me.